you know, I'm not a very happy man right now. Between this and my basketball team finna lose, getting cooked by the 8 seed, even though we the first seed. 60 wins just don't mean nothing. We just getting out there getting fucking shafted. I don't really too much want to talk about that though. First, let me start off by saying a couple things first, bro. So first off, if you guys see my stream yesterday, my initial knee-jerk reaction to the reveals, if you guys felt like maybe I was like dooming or just having venom in my mouth for the sake of it throughout the stream, my bad. That wasn't my intention. You know, I looked at things. I looked back at the VOD and I noticed that I was starting to make statements as if the game was dropping tomorrow or something, and they could still have some stuff down the line. Like, it is only like 2 months left, but we could end up hearing something in May, could end up hearing something in June. Never say never to the end of the bill, right? You know, but that's why I'm making this, to really clarify why I'm not very happy right now, and basically tackle this from an objective point of view, because it's easier to do that now after I done sat down and mulled this over for the last 20 or so hours. Yes, this has made me feel in such a way to where I haven't really gotten any sleep. So for those of you that were tuned in for the announcements last night, or I should say the ones that weren't tuned in, EVO Japan took place, and DOA had their first showing at a EVO in 7 years, and they had a 30-minute segment. They had a 30-minute slot to present what they had to the fans, and they decided to present to us Maya and Kula, who are returning to the updated version as DLC, not in the base game. You got to pay for them again. And then they announced a new Oboro variant of a stage, which improves the graphics. So basically a lighting change. I've heard some people say it's to show off the Katana engine a bit more. And then that was it. He walked off the stage, and then the commentators, the hosts, they just start talking about DOA for the rest of the time that was there. So what was expected to be a 30-minute presentation turned out to be like 5 to 10 minutes of presentation, which is also counting the time from when the countdown finished and we were waiting for it to start, by the way. And then 20 minutes of filler. You know, I'm still processing how crazy that is, by the way. So what went wrong, bro? Because I've been seeing people run defense for this, as well as people complaining about this, and then at the same time the complaints, nobody's on the same page. And I say this because I've been told that this is like normal protocol. I've been told that I shouldn't have expected anything more than what we already got. And then I've been told that the actual things they are changing and adding are bad just because we don't have rollback. And I kind of disagree with all three, bro. Like, okay, so the rollback, bro. The rollback. Look, I'm with you. Okay, we need rollback in DOA. We need rollback in DOA6. It doesn't matter what type of version. Basically, any new version of a DOA from here on out, after DOA6, it needs to have at least a better connection than what we have now, bro. There's no reason why we don't. So I completely understand, and I'm with you there. But where people begin to lose me is when we're getting to the point where we're shitting on the other things that they did add. The things that they added to the game aren't ass. It's just not the thing that we're directly looking for. They still haven't said no rollback the way they said no crossplay. So all we could do is really just wait and see on that. They didn't say yes, they didn't say no. It's still the same. We're basically in the same limbo we was in from the first reveal, you know. But to say the other things that they have implemented so far is ass, that's kind of asinine, bro. And like I said, bro, with them 3 different things being mentioned to me, bro, like, it just gives me multiple questions, bro. Like, how is this supposed to be normal? How are we expected to not expect anything at EVO? How are we saying additions are bad because we don't have the addition that we want? Of course, we won't roll back, like I said, but we can't even see more than one feature per update. Like, like, dude, we can't even get, like, we're talking about rollback. They won't even implement things in their trailer that they already confirmed on their website. They confirmed a new stage on their website. They still haven't shown that thing yet. Haven't teased a single new DLC character for the game. We're over here preaching for rollback. We can't even get the stuff they have confirmed. So what's the underlying problem here, bro? Well, let me paint a picture for you and break it down clearly so that way nobody misconstrues what I'm trying to say here. What is even the point of Dead or Alive 6 last round anyway? Why didn't they just reveal DOA 7 come in a year or 2 from now and leave it at that? Well, similar to Virtua Fighter, the Revo and Revo World stage are used as a testing ground to stress test mechanics, the online, the other features, and for fundraising for the bigger, newer game to come out in the new Virtua Fighter project. It's a similar situation here, man. You have all the games under the DOA bracket of Team Ninja's umbrella, from the recent Ninja Gaiden games, DOA Venus Vacation, and now specifically DOA 6 Last Round, are going to all be catalysts to fundraise the development of DOA 7. But also, 6 Last Round can be a catalyst to stress test to see the player interest, the retention, who's playing what on their game, online and offline, how many, and why they're on it. All this data being sent straight to them. So with that in mind, clearly you're going to want as many hands as you can get on the game, which won't be hard considering the community is already doing a lot to get more people into the series, myself included. All you got to do is show off the worthwhile changes to people, and you know that will justify the $40 price tag that you're asking for, because if you don't, then the only people that will be playing this game are the ones that are already playing DOA 6 right now, if that even, because I've seen a couple people uninstall 6 because of this. Make no mistake, bro, the additions that have been added here are good additions. Photo mode and upgraded graphics or upgraded lighting literally go hand in hand. The right person is going to spend hours in this photo mode just because of this. People wanted Mai back desperately, and they got her back with the license renewal. These are good changes, no doubt about it. That isn't the problem here. The additions that were made here were never the real issue. They aren't the problem. They aren't bad things. But we have to understand this, bro. The setting matters, the timing matters, the context matters. The marketing decisions, just like with VF, is making the game essentially shoot itself in the foot, bro. This game as a product needs to be marketed to be worth its asking price to get more hands on it. Because if not, then it will be the same 200 people's $40 being last round's portion of the pot, essentially making this game the kid at the school project whose only participation will be to write down their own name. Because what is 200 people's $40 really, bro, for the development of DOA? It's also pretty jarring, since at first they said no Mai and Kula in a tweet, but now at EVO they announced they're back. So I wonder if that also applies to the cross-play and rollback situation, but we won't know that until, you know, they tell us something. This is another reason why I feel terrible too, bro. It feels like every other week I've been getting sick too, bro. On top of all this that's been going on, bro. I'm just really getting upset, bro. I'll tell you right now, there were and still are people that are willing to spend $40 just off the thought of being able to play with crossplay and rollback in DOA. But the point is this: there was the initial reveals and then silence for a while, instead of any marketing with no word or news until EVO Japan. So given that there was nothing said, they haven't said anything in a while, and given that this is their first EVO in the last 7 years, forgive me and forgive other people if we expected something that was literally anything more than just 2 reveals for 10 minutes or less during what was supposed to be a 30-minute segment. Like, that's literally like you being a comedian and you have a 30-minute window to perform at Madison Square Garden, and you go out there on stage, crack 2 jokes, and walk out the building. It just don't make sense, dude. It just don't make sense. Like, why not optimize that time and give us a good amount of information, bro? Some new costumes, show off a brand new stage for, that you already said that is confirmed for 6 last round. Give us a teaser for the new DLC characters, or one of the new DLC characters, that, like, one that hasn't already been here for years, bro. Like you could have confirmed tag mode, dude. Like, why drip feed it to this extent when the game is this close to coming out? I just don't understand, bro. Unless they truly just don't have that many changes and we're essentially just paying for patch notes, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand what goes into these decisions. And these lead to dilemmas where we have now, bro. Because how are we supposed to convince any fighting game player to try DOA when the newest version to come out, the only feature is a photo mode? And like I said, there is a person for that. There is a person that's willing to play a game just for that. But for the person that wants to play it as a fighting game with no rollback or crossplay and just a photo mode, how are we supposed to get them to get into it? On the other end, why would a DOA casual who's just into the females pay $40 for a photo mode when they can just play Venus Vacation? Venus Vacation is free. You have optional money. You can put the money into the characters. Is a photo mode improved lighting and confirmation of all the characters that was already on the roster to be back? Is that worth $40, bro? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, man, this is the reality that we're in, man. We're getting good additions to the game, but the way it's being marketed is terrible. I feel like if they have things that they want to reveal, then wait till you have enough things to fill up the time to reveal them. You shouldn't be going to EVO Japan for a 30-minute segment to only reveal 2 things. It just don't add up. Like, it genuinely feels like they took a tweet and then put it on the EVO stage, bro. It's also kind of recently been brought to my attention that there were barely anyone even seated for the DOA reveal segment, like actually at the event. So that leads me to believe that they aren't even really marketing for the game's release in Japan either. So it's like Team Ninja, bro, the marketing department, bro, you have to give people a reason to be excited about the game, or else nobody outside of the 150 player bubble is going to even know that the game exists, bro. A few costumes in a trailer, a stage, or a character teaser, bro, I'm telling you that will go a long way, bro. Let alone rollback, bro. But it's like, as of right now, hype and build up for the comeback, 7 years at EVO Japan, just to show off 2 things, bro, is just so disheartening. And it sucks that the supposed biggest fighting game offline tournament series is a place where I have to keep my expectations low just because the marketing is that bad. So what now? Well, the way I see it, they got 2 opportunities left to show something off. There's an Xbox event and a Summer Games Fest, both in June, I believe. This will probably be their last chance before release to give the consumer a reason to want to pre-order the game or put their 2 cents into the game and really draw up hype for the game. And if it is indeed the last opportunity, then please, for the love of whatever you believe in, reveal your hand, drop your best reveals, and give the community a reason to be hyped. Because what happened last night wasn't hype, bro. It really just hurt the community morale, bro, because showing only 2 things at EVO gives people the impression that this is just going to be the exact same game. And that's really all I gotta say, bro. Like, comment, sub, hype. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all don't even gotta do that. I'm probably gonna delete this in like 24 hours, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gone, man.